Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode 252. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we're filming this in the morning. Normally we film at night, but I wouldn't even say that. I think it's like a half and a half now.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, as long as I wake up.
Yeah. Sometimes, we need to get Lily one of those alarm clocks where like you need to do like jumping jacks and a math quiz and Sudoku, and then it'll stop.
We did a beauty break one time with alarm clocks, and there was one that like flew around the room. You had to like catch it. Oh my God, this is so dangerous! Oh my God!
Oh, that one would just, I think you need a few. I don't think one's gonna cut it. We need like 5 going off.
Well, now I have like an actual like one that you have to like hit, not just
like
my
old
phone.
school?
Yeah, my phone one just like doesn't work a lot of the time.
Maybe I should get that too. I feel like it is kind of low on the phone.
But that's the thing. It's like sometimes it's low, but like I'm like make it a point to turn up my phone volume now because it has been a problem. But then I told you recently, like the other day, my phone was on silent and it just like I woke up and the alarm was flashing, but nothing was happening. But like it's supposed to still go off when your phone's on silent. Anyway, I woke up today, went for a walk. It's Max's birthday.
Oh my God. Happy birthday, Matt. How old is he now?
6.
Oh shit. How old is that in dog years?
Probably past a teenager. I don't like it.
Oh my God. No, I think he's like 40. Yeah, isn't it times 7?
Shit, is it?
Damn. He's older than you.
Oh no. Each dog year is equivalent to 4 to 6 human years.
Okay. So what is he, 30, 32?
So I'm still older, but...
Okay, period.
Yeah.
Love that. Happy birthday, King. Wait, what does that make him? What month are we in? June?
June 10th.
June 10th. Totally forgot what zodiac sign is.
I don't know.
Anyway, well, we do have an episode for you. Kind of a random one. Our first topic is something that we knew about, like, as it was happening, but we just didn't cover it because we had other stuff to cover, like hot air balloon drama. Very, very hot off the press that we needed to attend to.
We did not know about it. You knew about it. This is the first time you heard about it. It was
really?
This morning, yeah.
Oh, this was all over my For You page. So Jools Lebron, the very demure girl that we covered for the whole, what was it, copyright or like patent pending? What was it?
Yeah. I'm more just thinking about how I went viral on Twitter.
Wait, why did you go viral on Twitter?
Because I was like, can someone please just tell me, I don't remember what I said, but it was like, why everyone's saying demure now so I don't feel old and stupid.
Long gone are the days that Lily would be a boomer on Twitter and be...
Got hundreds of thousands of likes.
It did. But yeah, we covered Jools Lebron with the very demure thing because when she went viral for that, somebody else tried to make merch off of it, something along those lines. It's been a while since we covered it. But yeah, so we covered that. We were largely on her side, obviously, because we were like, that's fucked. However, this situation is a little bit more complicated. So a few months back, I saw, and of course I saw this all in order, laid out in front of me as I do, but she posted at the Cowboy Carter concert, Beyonce.
Yes.
And she had a TikTok that we'll read now with some text that really just prompted this. Like, I would say that nobody really knew this was such an issue until this happened. However, this isn't the first time she mentioned it because she does have a podcast, the Very Demure podcast, and she does it with her brother, I think. And she had mentioned kind of like in passing, she would say things like, this beauty guru that like ruined my life or like blackballed me from the industry. Actually, should we watch that first? We should go in order, right? Not my order. The order.
When you said you saw it in order all laid out in front of you, I was like,
you're like,
when does that happen?
I saw it in my order.
Got it.
So this is one of the first mentions that she had in passing. Like you'll see how like she mentions it, but then she kind of like moves on to something else. She doesn't go into detail. But this is the first time that I know of that she's talking about the blacklisting.
Last year, I felt like I didn't catch on to what Demure was doing because I had so many viral moments the year before, but it felt like it didn't matter. Like I was like still broke. I was still struggling.
Yeah, it didn't amount to anything really.
Like it just like didn't amount to anything. Also like the things it did amount to like kind of traumatized me.
Right.
So then like when this started going viral, I was like, that was like my worst fear was like it going viral and like something bad happening again. Cause like my like viral successes of 2023, traumatized the fuck out of me. I mean, that's why I stopped doing beauty content. And that's why I was happy I was like not like a beauty influencer.
Yeah, I mean, you were like back and forth in some drama, right?
Well, yeah, like I had a drama. Divas, one day we'll get into this. But I had like just like online drama. And then I had like a weird situation with like a brand founder. And like it just like threw me into like a dark ass depression. Like during October 2023, I didn't even upload for like a whole month.
Right.
Like I was like over it. I was like, my career's over. Like I was hearing from other like big influencers that he was like blacklisting me with like different companies.
Wow.
Like, he just had so much power and so many connections that like it just like was devastating. And then Demure happened, and I was like, because the thing is, I always thought that was in my head. I was like, maybe I'm like imagining this, like maybe I'm gaslighting myself. But then Demure happened, and he was the only one who didn't do the trend, and I was like,
There you go.
And that's the power of Pine Sol, baby.
So basically, she's saying that like the thing with who we now know is Patrick Starr, beauty guru from like literally one of the OGs.
Yeah.
Do we know them? We both do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I've met Patrick several times and I've pictures with him. He invited us to the launch of something. It was before One Size. I haven't seen him in a while, but he was always very nice to us.
Yeah, he was nice to me. I was telling you actually before we filmed that he was nice to me the first time we met. It was at Kathleen's 1 million subscriber party, which was like, think like a dinner with one long table. Like it really was not a large thing. So it would have been weird for someone to like be mean. Yeah. But he wasn't mean at all. He actually was like, Jessie, oh my God, like I totally have to do your makeup, like shit like that. And then like a year and a half later, I saw him at a benefit event because I was going with Kathleen. And he completely ignored me. He was with Nikita Dragon, very similar to Manny MUA ignoring me with Jeffree Star. But that was worse because they came up to Kathleen and I, and literally like this is Manny and Jeffree I'm talking about now. Manny MUA, Jeffree Star came up to Kathleen. I'm standing right there. I'm very tall. You cannot miss me. And they just like talked to Kathleen and did not say hello, did not say anything. And Manny at the same Kathleen 1 million subscriber party had been like, Jessie, like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with your vines because he's Hispanic too. So like he was just like talking like we were bonding. I thought, yeah, right. That bitch ignored me completely. Patrick, I don't know if he saw me. Like, it's not like he came up to me and ignored me. You know what I mean?
No.
So I can't say the same for him.
And I've had the similar experience, not as direct ignoring, but pretty direct because we went to, I think it was like the Billboard Music Awards or something. And Manny was there with Jeffree Star. We said hi and we like waved at him and he just like looked at us and then looked away.
I'm telling you right now. Yeah, Manny MUA in that era of Jeffree Star thought he was Beyonce. Like he thought he was her and that he needed like security and shit. Like he thought he was hot shit. Anyway, that is completely separate. We're not talking about Manny MUA at all. But yes, we have both met Patrick.
And also
he's been nice to us.
Patrick's brother, Peter, was always with him and he was always super nice too. We had the same PR firm and we'd always be at events together. So I feel like we were just
got it. Well, that's just our anecdotal, situations with him that
honestly
don't really apply
here,
to this.
But
yeah, but Jools is talking about Patrick Starr, and Patrick Starr is supposedly the one that she is saying blacklisted her from the community, like the entire beauty community after an incident. We'll get into that incident in a second, but like I do remember Jools, like her One Size content is what would go super viral, specifically because she has hyperhidrosis. And so the One Size, like the spray that looks like hairspray and literally feels like hairspray on your face, she would be like, this is like what is gonna keep your sweat off all day. You know what I mean? So she went viral for shit like that. And then One Size would like use her for campaigns and I'm sure pay her. So it is interesting that all of this is surrounding that because I thought that everything was fine and dandy and that she was like having a great time working with One Size, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Note also though that the first podcast, the title of it was Jools' Idol Takes Advantage of Her. So that's pretty hefty. They don't go into it to that extent, but like,
are those hashtags that she put?
Yes.
So why is she throwing Patrick Ta under the bus?
Dude, that's actually a really good question because people have mistaken the person responsible for this as Patrick Ta on multiple occasions to the point that she has to clarify it on a live.
Well, probably because she put the description for it.
Probably because she hashtagged Patrick Ta.
That's
an interesting
twice.
theory. You know, not improbable. And then this next podcast is called The Dark Side of Beauty Content. So anyway, here's where she mentions it.
So then what? You just leaned fully into the content after that?
I just tried to do the best I could because then I joined the creator program where I could start getting paid for my videos. So then I started doing that.
So talk about that.
Money.
The creator program, is that something that do you apply for? Do they reach out to you? Because there's a lot of people.
It's once you like get to a certain
idea.
like you have to get a certain amount of views, a certain amount of number of followers.
Okay.
And then they invite you to do it.
By the way, guys, we just entered the creator program on TikTok.
Okay, we did, but then like I thought it was just going to be on like a couple day delay because we went viral. So like one of our videos has now gotten a million views.
Yeah, the Elizabeth Teckenbrock one, and men found it, and it was
oh my god,
scary.
The comments are they're not good.
And then look at their profile pictures, though. It's what makes it better. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I checked yesterday and it has over 1 million views, and we got accepted into the creator program when it had like 500,000 $200,000.
Oh, because it's at 1 million now.
Yeah, I was gonna make some money, but I don't know if maybe we have to.
We made $0.
And like it's like if you didn't upload before you were in it, then it doesn't count.
TikTok's a big sack of shit sometimes, honestly.
Yeah. So right now it still says we've made $0.
Woohoo! But I'm excited.
But technically, yes, we are in it.
I was making a good amount of money. I probably make like a good like $6,000 a month.
And at this
Doing
point,
that?
we're talking like 2000, early 2024, late 2023, something like that.
I want to say early 2023.
Okay.
Because then after that, I started getting brand deals.
Because this is like Texas Roadhouse, as you do
Yeah,
makeup
because Texas
tutorials.
Roadhouse, and I got hired the first day at Texas Roadhouse. That was like when I got my first brand deal.
Okay.
So then I started getting consistent brand deals, and then that's just what I was doing. And then it wasn't until I had the issue with that one brand founder / influencer
Right.
that kind of fell apart, because that's actually what was the end of all that.
I mean, that was like what, almost a whole year later, right?
Yeah, pretty much a year later.
Okay.
Because all of 2023, I was making like good money. I was doing brand campaigns with the certain brand, and everything was going good. I was making good money. It was only after that one campaign that summer of 2023 where I'd almost died on set with those people, the heat stroke and all that.
In LA.
In LA,
I was
yeah,
actually right.
It was
I wanted
after
to-
that,
I
yeah.
wanted to ask you about that. Where in the timeline that was? Because like, why don't you touch on that? What was that?
Before she touches on it, I do just have to say, like, even though some people do unfortunately mistake this for Patrick Ta, most people know if you were there in that time, and I'm pretty
They're
sure
being pretty
most of those
specific about
advertisements and
the
stuff are
timing.
up. Everyone knows it's one size.
Yeah.
And Patrick Starr, like, that is the main brand she worked with, and like, he's an influencer and a brand founder that she very publicly worked with. So like, and I mean, she knows that. I think she knows that people are going to say like, oh, it's Patrick Starr.
Again, she's being very specific about the timeline.
Yeah. So this is the part, though, that she explains how she almost died. And this is like a very important part, because we need to kind of look into what fault Patrick Starr holds here, if any.
So
Because that was one of your first big opportunities, I feel like.
yeah, well, that was one of my first one of the first 4 or 5. That when I had quit Texas Roadhouse, I started just getting brand deals with like Urban Decay, and so then I quit at the end of 2022 doing working regular jobs, and then throughout all of 2023 I was doing brand deals, and then that summer of 2023 is when that situation happened. And then, now mind you, again, I've been at that point supporting myself just through brand deals. I was doing actually great, making some of the best money I'd ever made. And then it just all suddenly stopped after that situation.
Right.
And I remember being so confused as to why. Like, I remember being like I didn't post anything controversial. I wasn't in any drama or anything. And then I remember some people that were friends with this person were like, hey, like, I just want to give you a heads up, because the same thing happened to me when I first started out. But like, this person has a lot of connections, and they like did not like that you had posted, basically that you almost died in their work situation. And they've been selling things to us as a brand. And this was someone who worked at a brand too.
So someone who was like, I don't know, working in another beauty brand is saying that Patrick Starr is going behind the scenes and saying, we don't like her because she almost died.
I don't doubt that Patrick Starr has a lot of connections, but I also don't think that
It's just a very interesting reason to blacklist someone. That's why I was like, no, I need to hear more about that situation, because like, what do you mean? Why would he get mad at you for almost dying?
I'd imagine that it's not about the almost dying part, which also, is that like hyperbole, or do they actually mean they almost died?
No, she ended up in the hospital.
Okay.
Like, lost vision in an eye. Like, I thought she was going to lose her leg to diabetes, like a whole thing.
What was the deal though? It was like you had went out and made an appearance. You were like in a parade.
Yeah, so I'd done an event. I'd done an appearance basically in LA, and they had us out there just like in not the best conditions. It was just really, really hot that day. Then on top of that, they didn't have any like cold water or anything for us. Now, there was a series of events also leading up to that situation that day. So the airplane, the plane that I took to get to LA didn't have air conditioning. Their air conditioning had broke. So then we're all on the plane sweating. It's the middle of summer. Yeah. So then I have hyperhidrosis. I get super easily dehydrated. So then I get to my hotel room. The hotel's air conditioner's broken.
That's unreal.
So that whole night, I'm like pouring sweat. Then the next morning to get ready for this event, I'm pouring sweat, dude. I can't stop sweating. So I'm so dehydrated. So then imagine all that leading up to then.
Well, none of those are relevant to, and they might explain how the heat stroke happened, but it doesn't, obviously, none of that Patrick could control.
If anything, I feel like that's taking away from what
from Patrick's like fault here.
Yeah.
Being in a situation where you're in the sun, we're out there for like 8 hours or so. We're with no water, there's no fan, we're in direct sunlight.
Okay, so that is very different. So first she said no cold water. Now she's saying no water at all. So if there really was no water for 8 hours, I do think that's irresponsible on the brand's part. Obviously. I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't there. However, I do know that like Jools and many other creators, when doing one size events, have documented it. And it does seem to always be them taking care of the creator very much so. Like, I mean, hotel rooms just like decked the fuck out. Like everything is, you know what I mean? I don't feel like it's like a rinky dinky production.
Yeah. Well, and especially when you consider that Patrick Starr was an influencer first, that like,
yeah, he knows what to do, basically, to like take care of a creator.
Well, and especially it's something like Pride. I feel like even people that aren't one size would be like passing out water. It's like,
I would be very surprised if on set or whatever you want to call it, the parade, if Jools had brought that up and said like, hey, like I have hyperhidrosis, like I am dying, like I seriously need water, that nobody would bring it. Like, what is this, a Spirit Airlines flight?
Yeah, no, literally. Like, I don't think she would even have to bring that up. I don't doubt that there was probably water there. It might not have been cold.
And it is interesting. I mean, that in the beginning she says it's not cold water, and then now she's saying there's no water. I feel like if it was no water from the beginning, she would have said, I don't know, just pointing out. I'm not like saying she's lying. I'm just questioning some aspects of it, I guess.
Yeah.
So I ended up collapsing, having heat stroke.
Wow.
And yeah, basically almost dying across country. Like,
I remember it was freaking us out. You had called.
Yeah, because I remember being like so scared because I was like, I had never been in a situation where like I had an emergency like this, but where like I wasn't in direct, like you couldn't come get me. Mom
No, none of us. No,
I know people sometimes say my mic is in my face, but let's be real.
Why is he like picking at it and stuff?
It has my two least favorite podcast situations. It's like
holding the mic,
too much mic,
and
then holding the mic. Yeah, those are my two least favorites. But you know what? Y'all better slay.
So then, you know, like they had like kept me there for longer, and I'd stayed at that hotel an extra 5 days.
I remember.
And then even when I got back to Chicago, I had to go right back to the hospital because they're like, you're not doing good.
Yeah, as soon as you got back here, you went right back to the hospital.
Yeah, because I was just literally dying. Like they're like, your organs were starting to like fail on you, basically. And I just remember like posting about that.
Organs are starting to fail
obviously.
on you?
Yeah. So from what I understand, and it's not a lot, but apparently a heat stroke could potentially cause organ failure. Like it's not like something that could never happen. I don't know. This comment says, I think organ failure doesn't come from an event in the heat. It would literally be from ongoing health problems prior to the event. And then somebody responded, heat stroke can cause organ failure with or without other health issues. I don't fucking know. Apparently, if you don't know, a heat stroke is a life-threatening condition in which heat overwhelms your body's ability to manage its temperature. Symptoms include dizziness, fainting, blurred vision, slurred speech, and confusion. Heat stroke causes reduced blood flow and damage to vital organs. Oh, there you go. So, I mean, yeah, it could happen, I guess. And I mean, I've never had a heat stroke. I don't fucking know what it feels like. I know that I've been so hot that like my heart starts pounding and it feels really scary.
I feel like she's just throwing in a lot of symptoms and stuff, and it's unclear.
I will say she's definitely vague about it. I don't think she needs to show us her fucking medical charts by any means.
No, but if you're accusing a brand of being the one responsible for you like almost dying,
there needs to be more details.
You can't just be like, well, yeah, all my organs were gonna fail. Like,
well, and also I think that not separating. I mean, she mentions it all, so your brain can separate it, but like not separating the plane and the hotel are completely separate things than the parade. And I mean, one size can control that an entire event is outside. Like it wasn't a one size event. They were like afloat in a parade or something.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of elements here that it's like you could have at that point not participated if it didn't make sense. Like if you were feeling sick, you could have left. Like I know that when you're in a work environment, maybe it feels uncomfortable to do that, but like as people, we need to take care of ourselves and like just be like, I can't do this. It's too much. But I don't know. It is kind of like blurry lines here.
And it seems like, as you said, like you can separate it. Like we just separated it. Like that's not, like Patrick isn't responsible for the air conditioning being broken on the flight, but it almost seems like she's acting like they are responsible because maybe like since one size bought the flight and one size got the hotel room, then it's their fault that the air conditioning was broken.
That would be insane if she believes that that's insane.
That's not.
Yeah.
And clearly not being happy that I posted about that. And from then they went to blackball me in the beauty community and basically put the bug in different brands' ears to like not work with me.
Right.
And so then from that's how I ended up having to move out of the house on Roosevelt, having to move in with mom.
So she goes on to say that like she had to start looking into jobs and stuff because she lost pretty much everything. And then she also does mention that it was like a good thing, you know, like, and I've always thought the same thing. I feel like every creator needs a fall from grace to understand and like be appreciative and be humble. Yeah, like, because I feel like if you don't have that fall, you're such a dick, like most of the time, because money came so easily and it just never left.
Yeah.
I think that that could be a good thing, regardless of it being a hard thing for many creators. However, so the hospital thing, that was like something that I really was curious about, because I'm like, she mentions that Patrick, the reason he blacklisted her, because that was my question first of all, the reason he blacklisted her is because she posted about almost dying at a one size event.
Don't we later find out, though, that also she expected Patrick to pay for?
Yes. So we're going to get into that in a second, because that's a big point of contention. Like, she felt like he promised something that he did not deliver on, and that was paying her medical bills. First, I want to post what she did post in the hospital of June 2023. However, she's not mentioning one size in this particular video, and I messaged Lily about it. I'm like, so like, what was Patrick mad about? And I think you said that it was a live stream that she had said it in, or something along those lines.
Someone posted that on Reddit, yeah. But I was going to say the reason why I think the paying is relevant is because I don't think that it was Patrick. If Patrick did tell other brands about it, I don't think it was rooted in, can you believe she said she almost died at an event? I mean, that probably was not great to see, because that could be a liability if people like started talking about it and thinking that you're like not taking care of your influencers that you're paying. But also, if she basically tried to get him to pay for stuff that was not something that he would have even remotely been obligated to pay, because of if it was pre-existing conditions or whatever the case is, then he might have told other brands like, hey, she's kind of trying to like borderline extort money out of me to get me to pay.
I could see that angle a little bit more. That would be his
it would
opinion
be like a warning.
Of what happened.
Yeah, it's like she's trying to get like do a shakedown to get me to pay for her medical bills. Don't work with her, because if something happens, that might happen to you.
Yeah, actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we watch that one video that you sent me that kind of summarizes the parade part? Because he talks a little bit about that. But I do just want to say, like, when you were just speaking right now, I remembered that like she didn't say anything about Patrick Starr paying the hospital bills in her podcast. She says it now on live, when we're going to watch it now. She went on TikTok live. I think it was TikTok. And yeah, like there is where she decided to say like, yeah, Patrick Starr was supposed to like pay my hospital bills. And everybody's like, what? Like, we didn't know that part of the story. Yeah. That's not what she had been saying. And I feel like if you're already saying the blacklisted thing, the fact that you wouldn't mention the hospital bills is kind of interesting.
Well, and I think that that would be the key part. I think that would be the point of contention for Patrick of why he would be like not wanting to work with her again if she was trying to get him to pay for stuff that is not his responsibility.
I'm very sorry to Jools Lebron. I have investigated her claims about Patrick Starr and the near-death experience at one of his events. Let's talk about this honestly. If you guys do not know who Jools Lebron is, she is the creator of the viral TikTok trend. People were like saying like, oh, it's very cutesy, very demure. She recently went on TikTok live and was describing an experience where her life...
So that's, he refers to claims that she made in a live.
Oh, we have that live. Should we watch it first?
Sure.
Like, we have pieces of it, obviously. It's re-uploads of clips. But this is actually her saying that Patrick said he was going to pay for everything. Also, please note that her Shure mic, like, she's talking into it, but the audio is of her phone. So, I don't know what happened there.
I posted about it, girl. Patrick Starr tried ruining my life. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a fuck. And that shit really threw me, girl. That really, really threw me into a depression. And so then, that was the entire problem, girl. That was the entire problem. So, like... it was never Patrick Top. All I'm gonna say is I worked with this person. I'm gonna be very careful with how I word this, because I know that motherfucker got his spies out here. But basically there's a situation with this person's brand that they founded. They had an event and I almost passed away. That's not a joke. I'm not being facetious. I'm not trying to be funny. That's real. I literally almost lost my life. I was on a phone call with my mother, like telling her, like, I'm across the country and I'm like so scared because I'm in a situation where they're telling me like you could have passed away right now. And all of this is happening during a time period where I'm working for them. I'm in LA with them for their thing. And I post like a little hee hee ha ha video about it. And obviously this is like still deeply affecting me. So I post like a little like hee hee ha ha video, like oh, I'm in the hospital because I'm trying to make myself feel better because I'm so scared. Like there's nurses telling me like, if you would have got here like any later, like your organs started shutting down. And like, I don't have anyone with me, I'm by myself. So again, I post a little hee hee ha ha video about it, trying to make myself feel better. And this person did not like that I posted that video. And I think that they thought it was disrespectful that I posted this video. I think it's disrespectful. I almost died at your event, the brand that you own. Yeah. Clock that. So then, girl, for weeks, I'm in the hospital, girl. I'm in the hospital for weeks. You guys scroll down to my page. Go ahead, see it. Last summer 2023, there's a chunk of that summer I'm in the hospital. And it's because my organs started shutting down. It's because I almost passed away. This person was telling me, don't worry about the bills. Don't worry about any of that. You know, like, we're going to take care of it. Just focus on getting better. Focus on getting better. Now, mind you, no one's coming up with this money though. I'm a broke influencer. I'm not making that much money. These are some of my first brand deals. And I'm having to use this money to pay these little medications and these little hospital stays. Because it's week-long stints.
That's a weird claim to make.
This
Hospital
whole thing
bills do
feels
not
weird.
come like that.
No.
Like you don't pay the hospital before you leave. It's not a hotel. Or like you don't pay it before you enter. Like
Honestly,
no.
I feel like you get it like weeks later.
Weeks, if not months.
Yeah.
And then you have months to pay it pretty much, like most of the time. And if you're like me, you pretend you didn't get it. Like I just feel like medical bills aren't something that like, especially if you're, I mean, don't get me wrong, the United States sucks. And like, have they tried
Fucking
to bill me
horrible.
for like $7,000 each time I gave birth? And I was like, no, but like also they didn't come to my house. Like it was on my credit for a few years and then it went away and I lived through it. Like it's fine, you know? I don't know. I just feel like that's a really weird thing to say. Like the medications you get in a hospital are not like, yes, they are individualized and they are charged individually. You don't have to pay that on the spot. They will administer it without you paying it. It's just a very interesting claim. That doesn't make sense to me. And especially there's hospitals like Jackson Memorial in Miami where you don't even need insurance. Longer waits, sure. But like,
Well,
you could
and
just
that's
go in
also
there and
another,
you don't
like,
have to pay bills.
Did she not have insurance? Because that would factor into.
Sure, probably.
And like the whole thing just feels like it's kind of progressively gotten more serious also. It started with like heat stroke and then it's like week-long stints, plural, in the hospital.
Yeah, and then in the podcast, she did mention I had to stay 5 extra days in the hotel.
That's what I thought was weird because I was like, well, wouldn't you be in the hospital though?
Yeah, I think that there are inconsistencies that are definitely worth noting, which when you are going through medical emergencies and stuff, do I
It's chaotic,
expect you to
yeah.
be like jotting shit down in your journal? No.
No,
So
but
like maybe she's just confused.
It's more, I think, that the story seems to have gotten more.
Now that she's out about who it is, it's like getting more dramatic almost.
And I think it would be weird of Patrick to offer to pay all medical bills when I doubt Patrick even knew the details of what was going on
So
medically.
what I will say about that is I can totally picture Jools being in the hospital, like collapsing in the one size situation, you know, which her accusation is not that they like left her on the fucking floor in the sun. You know, I'm sure they called 911. I'm sure it was like a whole thing and everybody was like really worried, which is why Patrick was probably like, girl, like I got you, medical bills, like whatever happened, like I'm gonna take care of you.
But then
that
if you
does not
find
mean
out-
like for the foreseeable future,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna pay. It's not like a fucking David Dobrik and Jeff Wittick situation where it's like I
Yeah.
almost killed you and so I'm gonna pay whatever it takes for you to get back to normal.
Exactly.
But like it does seem different. This is just another piece of the same life.
Basically, I'm in and out of hospitals. Now, this collapse that happened where I almost passed away was so bad, I lost vision in my left eye almost completely.
That's her right eye. It is,
I
right?
I think it's maybe mirrored.
Oh, you think like literally mirrored? No, because sure is, you could read sure, right? Oh no, it is backwards. It's backwards. Yeah, okay.
It's
I was like, girl.
confusing because I've thought that, like, I've looked at my phone, like the way the phone selfie thing mirrors it.
I
It's
was
weird.
like, girl, you are totally going to the right side. I don't know what to tell you.
No, but this follow up about the leg being numb and like that doesn't have to do with heat stroke.
There's a lot of lumping in that happens here, and then it's like, it's Patrick Starr's fault. Like,
Yeah.
it does seem that way.
I don't doubt that she passed out and it could have been from the heat for sure. But then once she got to the hospital, there was other circumstances that were from either pre-existing
Right.
conditions or just like unrelated conditions.
Yeah.
That's not Patrick's responsibility to then pay like hundreds
Or
of
like, that's
thousands
not
of
even,
dollars.
I mean, that's a shock to everyone. Like,
Yeah.
who could have ever predicted that?
yeah.
Left leg fully went numb. Like I had to give physical therapy to like rehabilitate it. And so then I'm again thinking these people got me, they're going to take care of all my hospital bills. They're going to take care of everything. Girl, I've tried to go on Just Church. I don't think Just Church is fucking with me. Like, I've tried to message Oscar. I've tried to message the girls. I don't think Just Church is fucking with me. But basically, they tell me all this stuff. So then I message this person and I say, hey, I need to go to an ophthalmologist. I have to go to an eye specialist because the vision in my left eye is leaving because of this event, right?
But how can you be sure? I mean, could it have been a trigger that triggered all of this?
Yes, but
Like the
also
collapse?
it's like if it was the conditions of the event that were so bad, like no one else had any of these situations.
Yeah. Oh God. Because it could have been a pre-existing, especially she does talk about diabetes and stuff. And from my understanding, and the guy that we're going to watch after this that I started playing, like he does talk about some of the GoFundMe things. Like she's tried to raise money for health things and a bunch of different things before. And she gets clocked a lot for that. People think that she's scammed in certain situations. I don't know the legitimacy of that claim.
Well, and those aren't normal to my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't have a lot of health background by any means, but I don't feel like those are typical side effects of passing out from heat stroke.
Well, that's the thing. So even if it, like, I think of it like this. Have you ever heard of somebody who's perfectly healthy or seemingly healthy and they have like a brain tumor they didn't know about that's growing in a spot that like makes them pass out one day, or like they have a brain aneurysm, which is like so hard to predict. You would
like,
never
that's
know
what got them into the hospital, but that's not what kept them there.
So it's almost like if you have a situation where your body reacts that way in the heat, is that the fault of the people who are like, we're having an event outside? You know, I think it is a little bit
known.
Yeah.
I just see from Patrick's perspective, if you were like offering to pay for like an overnight hospital stay, for example, for her passing out from heat stroke, but then like weeks later you get a DM being like, by the way,
it's like, I'm going to the ophthalmologist.
You'd be like, what? Like,
yeah.
What are you talking about?
This is actually, you might chuckle a little bit. I'm not saying this is a laughing matter whatsoever. Health scares are terrifying, but Patrick's response to her was kind of funny.
This motherfucker replies, this millionaire replies, you know what's really good for your eyes? If you eat carrots.
Did he really say that?
That would make me crash out. I have to be honest. That would definitely make me crash out a little bit. It's like, oh, thanks. But also, I do have to say, like, I find it a little bit, not cringe, that's not the right word, uneasy. It makes me feel weird that Jools did, like, tell Patrick, like, now I need to go to an ophthalmologist.
And through DM, and like, it seems like I said earlier that it's kind of like, well, pay for my stuff, or else now I'm going to go on my podcast and say that you were like, the reason I almost died. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it's unfortunate as fuck. Having health issues and chronic health issues are awful. And I understand Jools' like desperation, and especially like if she wasn't getting consistent money at that time, feeling like, fuck, maybe this person will help me. But it is a little bit.
And even stressing that Patrick's a millionaire. And it's like, yeah, but it's also not Patrick's responsibility to, I don't know. It feels a little questionable at best. I'm uncomfortable.
What? If I eat carrots? You're a millionaire. You're a millionaire. You want to know how I know that? Because you told me about 17 times while you were talking shit about all your old friends. Clock that. You told me about 1,000,000 times you're a millionaire. And you're gonna tell me to go eat some motherfucking carrots while I've lost vision in my eye, while my family's worried about me fucking passing away across the country? You're gonna tell me to go eat some motherfucking carrots? After I almost died in your care, and you're lucky enough for me not to sue your
in your
ass?
care?
Yeah.
If you had grounds to sue him, you would have sued him already.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. I mean, again, this wasn't even a one size event. They were attending an event on behalf of one size, and it was outdoors.
Yeah.
Everybody else was at Pride too. It's hot as fucking balls.
Well, and that's what I said. If it didn't happen to everyone else, this wasn't just like a workplace condition where it was like,
what could have made this better? Like somebody following her around with an umbrella and a fan, like genuinely, I'm asking, like, what could they have done other than maybe the cold water thing? Sure. Like,
Paid
missed
for
her
the
every
medical bills
30
afterwards.
seconds? I guess. But then also, and I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. If I knew that happened and like it was just a few times after, I probably would have just paid it. I probably would have been like, oh, I feel bad. Like, that sucks.
It's
But
that it
there
seems like
is a
this
limit
was like
to it.
dragging out to then cover pre-existing things that were already
I think that
issues.
Patrick felt that way.
Yeah.
I think Patrick was like, you're trying to swindle me or something. I don't
And
know. Like, I
don't
think he felt
blame
uncomfortable
him.
with it.
I would feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable too.
Carrots, Miss Starr. What? So then, mind you, already broke because I'm the one paying all these hospital bills, and this millionaire's just told me this. Then goes on. Now, I didn't know this at the time. This only came up to front during very demure. I'm having all these different meetings with brands. I'm having all these different crazy things happen with brands. And one by one, makeup brands are coming through to me, personally emailing me. That gay person that works at that makeup brand messages me, oh, this person said not to work with you because you're messy. This person said not to work with you because you're problematic.
To be fair, this is a little bit messy.
I
You know what
mean, that's why I said earlier.
This is a little
it
messy.
makes sense to me that he might warn other brands to be like, this happened, and then now it's been weeks, and she's following up trying to get me to pay all of her medical bills.
It would not make sense to me if Patrick Starr was like going around and like going out of his way to email brands and being like, don't work with Jools LeBron. That would be fucking crazy.
And I honestly doubt
it would
that
make
that was
sense to me if
happening.
it came up almost in like casual conversation if he heard Jools' name and then was like, be careful with that one. Like, she's a little messy.
Not even that. I could see it happening where it's because she's done a bunch of one size brand deals already that they look at her page and they're like, oh, well, she's worked with one size. Let's reach out to Patrick.
Let's talk to Patrick about it. Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, girl, like, it's a lot. Like,
yeah. And I mean, it's not her fault, again, that she had a health emergency.
No.
None of that is her fault. I think that the way she like slow trickled the information and then now is just like putting all of this out there, but it's also strange and vague. And like she says it in a way where it sounds awful, but when you really look at it, it's like, wait, what? I don't understand how that's his
How
fault.
long were they telling you were about to, like, because then also they
What
didn't
is
even
your
say you're
exact
about to
health
die.
thing even?
It was, if you didn't get here in time, then you would have died.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of different. The wording she's using is not very protective. I think that Patrick could potentially sue the fuck out of her for saying all
I wonder
this.
if that's why he hasn't said anything, or maybe it's just because he's like, fuck it. Like,
Go away.
there's a lot of people I do have to say in the comments that are like, okay, I used to love Jools, but like, what the fuck is this? That's like, seems to be the overwhelming sentiment. And like, maybe he just feels like it's not worth addressing because people are already like not really on her side with this. I just feel like this is coming from a big place of hurt. Like, I don't feel like this is like genuinely
hurt and
her trying to resolve
desperation,
something.
honestly.
Yeah. And the way I know that, I mean, if this is true, and this could not be true because I couldn't find a clip of it, but I have seen everywhere and multiple people have told me that on the same live, I guess that she compared Patrick Starr to P. Diddy.
Because it's not just me. There's so many other influencers, so many other beauty influencers out here who are done so dirty by this person. This person is trademarking small brand names before they can blow up, taking advantage of people. I'm talking about stuff. It's getting Diddy in here. It's getting Diddy in here. And no one knows because this is Lil Miss, everyone's pride and joy in the beauty community. And I just, y'all worried about the wrong people. I would never, ever thought I'd say this. I don't think I'd ever say this. I think this person has more hate in their heart than Jeffree Star. You know how crazy that is to say? Because I don't even, in no world, way, shape, or form do I even mess with Jeffree Star. So let's stop there. But do you know how bad you have to be as a person for me to say that? And the shit that I've heard, and then the thing is too, same shit happened to me. I remember being like, why is this person like talking about all this like freaky shit with me? Like bring it up like, oh, I'm not like, everyone thinks I'm a good person, but behind the scenes I get nasty. And okay. But I remember being like, why are you telling me that? And looking back, I'm like, oh, you were trying to get me involved in some of that. Big Mama don't do that. No, very baby oil.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. And if that did happen, then that like just reinforces my opinion on like, this is just messy and kind of vindictive. I feel like she got a good opportunity with one size and then lost it and then also lost other beauty stuff and is obviously pissed about that. Like, I'm not saying Patrick should have said anything about her, but
I'm
then
not
I
even
also
saying that
know
Patrick
how like
necessarily could have been like totally in the right and the carrot comment is a
Right.
little out of pocket, to say the least.
The carrot, that's insane.
I do understand where you would be coming from as not just influencers being Patrick Starr, but owning a brand and having someone trying to falsely paint your brand as like putting you through like inhumane work conditions that would have led you to be in the hospital for weeks at a time. And it's all their fault. And now they're on the line for paying for all of it, and like you acting like they are responsible when legally that definitely wouldn't be the case.
No.
The same story from multiple makeup brands. This person said that you're not a good fit. This person said they had a bad experience. I almost died on their set.
It wasn't a set.
Yeah.
If I told the influencers not to work with you because they might pass away on your set,
That's
I'd
ridiculous.
be wrong, right?
That would be defamatory.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a pre-existing health condition or like, I mean, anybody could have a heat stroke, right?
I can't imagine
like,
that no
it's
one
indoors.
else was there. I don't think that she was the only influencer they hired that day.
No, but then also she did multiple events with One Size before this and everything went well. And she would document how great it was and how great they treated her and how much it meant for her. Like I remember all those posts. So it's like, it would be
They don't control
defamatory
the
for you to
weather.
say that. That would be insane. Yeah, they are very different things.
I'd be wrong, right? But you could tell makeup brands, a struggling influencer, that they should go over here and forfeit their relationship with them. You don't think that that's crazy to do to someone? So you almost kill me.
You can't say that. Like actually that's
so much of
you
this
could
I
get
think
sued.
is like Patrick could sue the fuck out of her.
Dude, take it from people being sued. Like, and we didn't say shit. Like, you've literally insinuated on multiple occasions that they are responsible for your near-death experience. That's insane.
This would be like you go to court, they would pull medical records, they would pull past medical records, they would have all of this, and you would have to prove that literally that event led to you almost dying. And I don't think you would be able to do that.
Everything. It wasn't a result of anything pre-existing. It was literally the moment health issues started, and it was the fault of One Size. So the health issues aside, it has to, like, you have to prove that it's their fault. And I know for a fact that she can't do that.
You almost do that, girl. Then you gotta take me out of the game too? Now, girl. Now, mind you, again, I did not know this until August of 2024. This is happening summer of 2023. So from 2023 until 2024, in my mind, I don't know any of this is happening. So I'm thinking, damn, I'm a flop. I lost all my brand deals. I don't know why brands don't want.
When also, was she only getting brand deals with makeup brands exclusively?
She was primarily doing, because again, like she would go viral for the hyperhidrosis thing. So a lot of brands that were like powders or setting sprays and stuff wanted to work with her. And yeah, it was primarily that. So now I want to jump though a little bit because we're pretty much done watching the live and we will watch the guy that we were just watching with the commentary. But first I want to show the Cowboy Carter one because this is kind of how she brought it all back in before she did that live. And it's like the end of the show, confetti is flying, and it says, "To my first makeup idol," so this is to Patrick Starr, "You might have broken me down, blackballed me from the beauty community, tried to ruin my career while turning beauty brands against me, almost pushing me to the darkest, most irreversible action a human can take," so insinuating that he almost pushed her to end her life.
Yeah.
"But you didn't break me. Here I am 2 years later, thriving at a Beyonce concert on a campaign sponsored by one of the world's biggest beauty retailers. You might be a star," and then spells it how he does with the double R, "but I am an icon." And that's very demure. So, an interesting post.
Yeah.
The caption was, "Scared to post this, but I won. Very demure is actually a one size fits all." So, multiple nods, not so subtle. Not so vague, you know, like it was definitely saying that it was
be
Patrick
fucking
Starr.
careful. Too
Careful.
late now. She's
Playing with
already
fire.
in there's a lot of legal potential against her, I think.
I do think it says a lot though. Like Patrick is probably not going to sue her. Like I think that
I don't
Patrick
think-
is just like,
Go away.
this is a disgruntled influencer that like I liked working with, but that situation got too messy and like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that he's actually going to pursue this. I also think it would look negatively on him.
Yeah,
to a
well,
certain
and like
extent.
you said, I don't think that people have really attached to it and been like, "You're right, Patrick almost killed you." He probably doesn't see it as being really worth his time.
Yeah, maybe. But again, this is the guy, by the way, his name is The Real Kevin Moon. M-U-N? Mun? My bad. And what did I say? Moon. It's a U. I can't. Anyway, like he mentioned in the beginning, like he did a little bit of an investigation and points out a few more things here.
I was able to verify on Jools' page that she, one, did attend this Pride event with One Size in the summer of 2023, and then two, that she was hospitalized a couple of weeks after this event transpired. Now, in order for Patrick Starr to be liable, in my opinion, I believe that he had to have done something that resulted in her being hospitalized. And it does not necessarily seem like that is the case. It seems as though it was potentially due to a prior pre-existing condition. I actually found this Reddit post that was posted 8 months ago, and they actually talk about various different, I guess, scandals that Jools LeBron has been a part of, where she has requested for money from her fans or followers. But one of those mentioned, I'm going to read to you guys this. The big one is when she went to LA Pride last year with One Size. She fainted on the float, went home to Chicago, and made a bunch of videos saying she was sick, etc., etc. People rightfully told her to go to the hospital. She did and cried about losing her foot. Common in diabetes patients. People said that she could control her diabetes and were giving tips. She lashed out at them and started raising money to put down a payment on this hospital stay, which is, well, not a thing. You don't pay when you get admitted to the hospital. You get a bill later.
I would say that that's so outlandish that it can't be true, but judging by the way that she was discussing her hospital stay, I feel like she is not being honest about the paying part of her medical situation. And she's almost
using that as an excuse to get money maybe for other things, because she knows that people know that hospital stays are expensive.
Yeah.
The second claim about Patrick Starr blackballing Jools LeBron, I want to point out a couple of dates here and explain to you why they matter. So in June of 2023, that is when Jools LeBron is seen in the hospital. We don't know if she arrived maybe before that date. Maybe this was like closer towards her leaving, because I was able to see that she was back again posting, it looks like in her bedroom on the 14th. So she probably was there for like the 2 weeks. But what I can also see is that in August of 2023, there's a post with Patrick Starr there. They're probably not actually physically with each other, but you know, this is existing content, and so she's feeling comfortable to post about it. And then I also see later in that same year, on November 2023, another like kind of One Size sponsor related post. I don't know if she is posting because she has a deal with them and she has to post until the end of the year or until the end of a certain time. The reason I point this out is because Jools LeBron does describe an experience where she has to see an optometrist. She reaches out to Patrick Starr, and Patrick Starr does not want to pay for that bill, or tells her infamously to eat carrots when she says, wait, this person is a millionaire. What we do not know is when exactly that interaction happened. Like, did Patrick Starr
we've not seen a receipt of it.
Okay, that's a very important bit of it. Jools shows zero receipts.
Yeah.
Like, not even the thought of a receipt.
Not Patrick originally offering to pay.
Nope.
That would be something that I feel like you would definitely be aware of and like show people.
And it would have been a text, because if she was in the hospital and he was dealing with the whole Pride, situation.
I doubt they were just like chatting on the phone. Yeah.
No. I mean, maybe, but at least one of these interactions, definitely the carrot one.
There had to be something.
Girl.
Yeah.
Show us.
And maybe he didn't want to help with the optometrist bill. That maybe came later, after a couple months after. Maybe he started to feel like,
months later would be absurd.
Asking for money from me. Now, I want to be clear. It's still a shitty thing to say, because anybody that experiences something like that, you definitely want to at least be somewhat sympathetic to it. And here's the hard truth, is that if Jools LeBron was in fact dealing with a pre-existing condition, that is not Patrick Starr's issue.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we're saying. So she basically posted with or about One Size Beauty for up to a year after this. But at the same time, she does say that like it wasn't until much after like a year and a half that she got confirmation that he was trying to like reach out to other brands or whatever the fuck she says.
But it is also interesting that now she's so upset about him not paying, but it seems like that wasn't really much of an issue for her until she found out that he was potentially telling other brands.
I think the issues keep kind of low-key changing a little bit.
Yeah.
Like even from the beginning in very small ways with what caused the collapse, you know what I mean? Or like just like little elements of this that it's just very interesting the way that she does describe it.
Yeah, and I feel like in situations where people do that, it's like they say one thing and like kind of test the waters and see how it's received.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, well now I'll push it a little more, and they get more comfortable with what they're saying, and maybe she believes it too. But it feels like there's some inconsistencies at best, which could happen with you said, like, when you're going through health trauma, and like, I'm really sorry that any of that happened to her to begin with, but it does seem like she's kind of putting it all on Patrick when it's like, that isn't his responsibility or his fault. And just because he's a millionaire doesn't mean he's obligated to pay for you.
I know, that's a big thing too.
She's really stressing that she's poor, he's rich, so he should
just do it. Yeah. And this is the last clip that I'll show from that same live.
Is over here behind the scenes pulling strings, playing puppet master. And I should have known, because day one, you're telling me all this shit about Manny. You're telling me about how Lil Miss Jacqueline hits the powder, how Nikki does this, how Jacqueline and Jeffrey don't like each other, and how Nikki was friends with Jeffrey, and how Nikita took you to this restaurant that was across the street from the Abbey so that you're telling me all the hottest gossip about all your...
You want to still work with brands, but now you're airing all of this.
I mean, it's not just that. It's like, you're criticizing Patrick Starr for talking shit. What are we doing right now?
Yeah, well, that's like, she is being very messy. Like, why would
she anyone just been like, he talked a lot of shit about all the people that he knows. You didn't have to say Jacqueline Hill sorts cocaine. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I should have known. I should have known you weren't right. You've only known me for 0.23 seconds, and I've heard all the gossip about all the biggest beauty influencers. Y'all, Dramageddon? I know the truth about Dramageddon. Y'all don't know anything about the truth about Dramageddon. What y'all saw online is not what was true.
Like,
okay,
why?
Like, what does that even mean?
It was quite an unhinged live, I will say. And I feel like a lot of people felt that way. They felt like the energy was like a lot to deal with.
Again, it's like people didn't attach immediately to what she was saying. So then it's like, well, but this and this and this. And it's like, okay, well, calm down.
And you're doing this on live, which there's no going back from. And then people are going to clip. And for what? What is the purpose of this?
When you consider even the holes that we have poked in what she said, lawyers would eat her
it up. Yeah, it would be bad.
I could picture it all now, like her going on the stand and being questioned and them just like showing clips destroying and being like, oh, well, did you say this too? And did you say this?
I mean, literally, you cannot say things like, you basically were responsible for me almost dying. Yeah. Not basically. No, that's actually putting it more protective
that they absolutely
did. Basically, all but said, you tried to kill me. Like, it was like a very, very intense statement. And I mean, I know that she doesn't have like a ton of experience in this industry. Like, she's just kind of like learning as she goes. But like, girl,
I mean, if you want to still have experience, then this is not the way to go. Because if you thought that Patrick, quote unquote, blackballing you, if that even happened, is going to make a dent in your career, this is not going to make brands want to work with you, because they're like, well, shit, what if she faints while she's on set and then she tells everyone that we tried to kill her?
Yep. I think that this is a perfect example of like us always saying like, the only reason to go public with it is if like, first of all, you've even tried behind the scenes, because she doesn't even mention that she tried to talk to Patrick about this at all. Like, I tried to email him and the team and talk to them about how I felt like they were responsible. None of it. Just like straight to the internet. For what? What is
almost
the purpose?
As if like Patrick just should have like, she shouldn't have even had to ask, that he should have just come forward and been like, we are covering everything. That's not how it works. And also, yeah, Patrick might be a millionaire, but also you're working with like his company.
You know what I don't like about that though? Is like, maybe he did tell Jools, I'm a millionaire, but millionaires especially like,
don't say
you know how expensive it is to have your brand in a Sephora? You have to pay for each like setup display thing for all Sephoras in the whole entire world. Like, he is maybe a millionaire, but not probably, like, he doesn't have millions in the bank. I don't even believe that. Well, maybe he does.
No,
maybe
but also, you're like, working with the brand. You're not working with Patrick Starr, the influencer, and it's not his money that goes into financing all of this. It's the brand. So, like, the brand's different.
Money. Yeah. And he's not the only person who makes money off that brand. You know how many people probably sit on the board and investors 100%. And shit like that?
Like, yeah, I'm sure he makes a lot of money, but also, like, I'm sure a lot of Patrick's money came from before he built that brand. Like, that probably cost him money because he is focused now more on being a founder than he is on being an influencer.
Well, anyway, that's where we're at as of right now. Jools has no longer spoken about it. It's been, so this was a little bit older. This happened in May. Well, I guess not that much older. It's like 2 weeks old.
I wouldn't be surprised if she got a cease and desist or something.
Bro, I was just going to say that. I was like, yeah, maybe she stopped talking because she can't talk anymore. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think that this was like a pretty wild live stream. I would have done it
Definitely,
if I had a brand.
It's in her best interest to shut the fuck up. Unless you have proof, which I don't think you do. Yeah.
But anyway, that's pretty much it for that topic. So moving on to the next one, another category we have yet to enter.
Oh.
Pimple patch drama.
Oh. That feels a little more reasonable
Down
than
our
hot air
alley?
balloon drama.
I don't know. The people loved the hot air balloon drama.
It was so
I'm,
funny.
I'm happy about it. And also, Reagan, not Rachel, commented on the episode.
I was dying. Let me read it. It was so funny. I sent it to Jesse last night. I was giggling.
Since we're talking about an update after a topic we covered, is now a good time to mention the DM that you got from the Exposing Emery Bingham account that confirmed that the Chucky tattoo, the horror tattoo with the girl with the squiggly arms on top, is real and was posted on Emery's mom's Instagram?
It was.
And I wish we had known that. And sorry for doubting you, Queen.
It wasn't. My reasoning was that she couldn't have lied to her parents about being on a show that she wasn't on.
Of course.
So I think that maybe it could have come about just because maybe she was obsessed with the show and she got her parents obsessed with the show. But I think
it's
the
just
reasoning
insane.
was a little different. But regardless, it's fucking crazy.
And it's the ugliest tattoo I've seen in a hot minute. The fucking girl on top.
Do you think her parents even know what's going on the internet? Like, I
Probably
feel like there's a
now,
chance they
but
have
maybe not at
zero
the time.
clue. What if they have no clue?
There is a chance.
No, but Reagan from the hot air balloon saga commented. She goes, "Rachel here," because
I'm
Jesse
so
kept
dead.
calling her Rachel.
I'm so
I was
sorry,
dead.
Queen.
Crying, laughing emoji. Loving this commentary. I feel like you get me, and I feel like you get us with that comment.
And also, Kitty, our fellow lawsuit sister, she mentioned that she has not only been on Reagan's podcast, but that Reagan was like an avid supporter for the Girlies versus Janet. So
We appreciate you, Rachel.
you have great charisma. It was like a pleasure to watch.
No, it was fun. Yeah.
Anyway,
Pimple
off to
patches.
pimple patch drama. So we have two creators involved in this. It is Natalie and Dr. Ethan Melillo, who is a pharmacist.
Millennial RX is his handle.
Interesting. Love that. This video has been deleted because she got so reamed for it. But we do have it. So thankfully, for once, we have it.
I love it.
And just try to see if you can understand why people got upset with this. I don't know. If you could spot it.
Why are we wearing pimple patches in public? We need to have a chat. Oh, you and me, we need to have a quick chit chat.
Okay, since we're having a quick chit chat, why are you wearing a leather jacket in your house? What's up with that? Since we're just chatting. I don't know.
True. That's like wearing jeans in bed.
This happened to me in the store, retail environment, where I walked into the store to make a couple of returns. A woman, I wouldn't even consider her a woman. She was probably like 4 years under the legal working age, but alas, this tween.
Oh my God, that sentence was so disgusting. First of all, how do you know? Did you check her license? Like, she might just look young. But then also she goes, this tween. Who says tween? And also, like, why'd you say it like that? She said it like if she was saying, I don't know if I could say it, but like the T word for gay people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
She was
she
saying it with
shouldn't
that
be out in
oomph.
public.
Me out the door. And she had maybe 4 pimple patches on that were so bright and so vivid. I guess they were the Starface ones. Bright blue, bright pink, bright yellow. Maybe I'm a narc, like maybe this is a hot take, you tell me. But I think that is so unprofessional. And I was like, this Gen X girly is making us look bad. There's already
Us?
this narrative that Gen Zers don't want to work hard and are lazy and unprofessional. And I'm like, you're the reason why.
Girl, I think you're the reason why Gen
Yeah, wait,
Zers are like.
whoa. Also, back up to why did she say that she was 4 years below the legal working age? We're like, well, clearly not.
Well, no, she said she's Gen X. Isn't Gen X really young?
Yeah, but she
I
said
lost-
she's
after
working
Gen
there,
Z,
so
I
she
lost
wouldn't
track.
be able to work there if she's 4 years under the legal working age.
No, I know nothing she's saying is making a whole
Like,
lot of
what are you
sense.
talking
But
about?
also, I've had like waiters and stuff have pimple patches. I mean, I've always like noticed them, but not once have I thought that it's unprofessional. I actually kind of prefer it because if somebody has like oozing pimples, like Nicholas from Love Island, oh my God, I wanted to get it and squeeze it. But if somebody has like an exposed pimple on their face, which is totally fine because, you know, shit happens and I've definitely gone outside with pimples all over my
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
I don't know, isn't it like better? Like it's like covering
Well,
it.
and, like, that's, like, a
not,
thing
not that
people
it should be
do.
covered, but it's like not exposed to like environments. You know
Yeah,
what I
well,
mean?
That's people wear the Starr ones specifically. That's like a thing now.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little accessory low key.
Yeah.
She's very upset about it if you haven't noticed.
Like, I can't imagine being so upset about something that affects me not even a little bit. And that she's in the zipped up leather jacket is killing me.
Yeah, the leather jacket is another breed.
I was that age and I was going into my first like jobs and internship. I had to look presentable. It's not
Yeah.
just young people. Like I have seen so many people at the airport, at the grocery store, at Trader Joe's. I don't want to see
You're
airport?
judging a bitch at the airport for pimple patches, you
That's like
monster.
people that like are mad that you're not wearing like heels at the airport. Like,
I literally
No, sweats.
am just a full just goblin. Like I basically,
Yeah.
I'm wearing sweats if it's not super fucking hot, but I don't wear makeup to the airport unless I literally have to like land and be somewhere right away. Like who goes presentable to the airport? It's like the last place to
Oh my
be presentable.
God. I actually remember leaving from visiting you that I was wearing makeup.
Wait,
But
why?
also my skin is so gross that I have such bad hyperpigmentation that I just feel insecure. So I always put it on when I'm leaving to go anywhere.
Gotcha.
But I was checking into my flight and I gave him my ID, and my ID I do not look good in. And he goes, "That's not you." And I was like, "I know, I look pretty rough." I look pretty rough in it. And he's like, "Well, you look beautiful now." Like,
oh my God. I would have killed myself. I would be like,
I was
sir,
like,
that was my 13th reason.
I
Thank
need to go get on my flight and drink.
See you and your pimple patches. Like, those are to be worn to bed and potentially at your apartment when you're working from home. Draws
Potentially?
even more like, just put a little concealer on or just rock it natural. If you know someone and you love them and they wear their pimple patches in public,
Why is the leather jacket so big? Is that a thing now?
And it's zipped up.
And I'm only saying it because clearly, you know, commenting on certain aspects of your appearance is fair game here. But literally, it looks like she's like hiding someone in there. Like, what is
Trench coat. No, but also I just am like, what do you mean you can wear it to bed and potentially working from potentially? What the fuck are you talking about? I
guess she means like if you're gonna jump on a Zoom call or something. But like,
I wasn't aware you made the rules of when you're allowed to wear pimple patches.
she does.
drop and roll. Send them this video.
Not the hand hearts.
We gotta stop doing it.
That was like a weird hand heart. She was like doing like
she did like a origami shape.
That's something. She thought she was being really cute and funny and doing a witty rant.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's what she thought, because I found this TikTok as I was getting ready, and this was just like 2 TikToks down on her page. Like, this seems like part of her content where like she needs everyone's approval. And I mean, it's pretty obvious because like what she's saying is like, when did we decide like basically this was okay? She needs like everyone's approval for everything. It's very interesting.
Well, it's like, I think that there are some circumstances that people have made rants like that where it is like, when did we decide that this was allowed? And it's something that is like socially not acceptable, but like this isn't one of them.
Like me wondering why we ever brought low-rise jeans back. Like, no, thank you. I want them all the way up to my belly button.
Something like that. It's funny.
Yeah. You're not saying like if you wear low-rise jeans, it's just me talking about my muffin top and I don't want it out.
It's like a self-deprecating one. It's like, this is not that.
No, I would never judge someone for wearing. Yeah, this comes with a level of judgment that feels icky. Yeah. So this was a TikTok that she got obliterated for, again, in the comments. It's pretty bad.
Girls, what are we wearing out and about this summer at night? I need some help, and I need people to tell me who.
Pants, shorts. What the fuck do you mean? What are we wearing this summer? A dress? I don't fucking know. What are you?
This is giving like, there's girls that I've seen where it's like, girlies, what is our sock shoe situation at the gym? Like, I don't know what to do.
The ones I own, the like 2 pairs I have.
But you know, there's the whole like debate about like how one way to spot a millennial is that they wear like no-show socks and not like crew socks.
Those are the only type I own. I'm not joking.
Well, there you go.
I don't own lawn socks.
It's like a whole thing though with like the type of socks you wear.
I think my dad's like AT&T socks he gets for free. Like, I don't know. I just don't wear long socks.
When I have like my running shoes that you got me that I have on right now that are super dirty, I actually just ordered another pair. These I wear, I mean, they're not like no-show, but like they're like ankle socks.
Wait, what's the difference between an ankle sock and a no-show sock? You mean no-show socks like
Those
the ones that just like barely go around your toe?
Like the Peds.
Yeah, like the Ked socks.
Yeah, no, but
okay, I don't wear those.
I feel like Gen Z is more like crew socks.
Like that are like
sock? That are like go like up to like
a
past
tube
your
sock?
ankle. Yeah. But I mean, not like a slouchy giant. It doesn't go up like mid calf, but it's like a few inches above your ankle.
You're gonna have to give me like a chart or something. I only own ankle socks, I guess it's called, but yeah, that's what I own.
Regardless, that's just a thing that I've seen where it's not like, oh, what are we wearing? And if you wear anything else, you're a loser. It's like, hey, I'm a millennial and I don't know what to do. Fill me in.
You're looking for advice. This feels more like, what are the non-losers wearing? Like, what are the pretty girls wearing?
Yeah. Favorite creators are in terms of like fun, unique fashion. I feel like, you know, we're all guilty of wearing that same uniform when we go out at night because it's just like so easy and so simple and like a black bodysuit, denim, whatever. And I really try to keep my evening attire like reflective of my personality during the day, but I find at night it's so hard.
What? I try to keep my evening attire reflective of my personality during the day?
I don't even understand what's happening.
Because you also wanted to have like a more elevated nighttime-y feel, if that makes sense. I'm a big dress person. Like, I'll wear dresses a lot in the summer, different accessories or shoes. But I just feel like I have worn my favorite couple of dresses like over and over and over. Like, it's just kind of getting old. I started to subscribe to like mini skirts. I think those are really—
Why does she talk like that? I've subscribed to mini skirts. Are they offering a subscription I'm unaware of? Like, what is this? What does it mean?
I think it's funny because I feel like Gen Z really embraces more of the like, wear whatever you want, whatever makes you comfortable kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's giving more millennial, really like thinking about it too much. And
this comment does, though, make sense. It says, you'll grow out of this weird need for external validation eventually. And that's what it feels like with her. And the pimple patch thing was just so unnecessary. And it was so unnecessary that a pharmacist who, like, weird crossover here, decided he wanted to chime in on why pimple patches kind of make sense.
It does feel like she's kind of like trying to like harness, like similar to how a mean girl in like high school would be like making fun of someone to get other people to be like, yeah, don't you agree? And you could all like gang up on them. And even if there's no specific person, well, I guess in this case there was, because she identified someone that she saw at a store, but like she's trying to get everyone on her side to like make fun of something together. But it's like, it is giving me girl energy for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you in your pimple patches. Like, those are to be worn to bed and potentially at your apartment when you're working from home. Draws even worse. Like, just put a little concealer on or just rock it naturally.
This is what we call a mean girl, and probably someone who would have made fun of me and my friends in high school. But there's actually a reason why I recommend patients to be using pimple patches during the day. I'm Ethan, I'm a pharmacist, and I work in the skincare industry. Let's go through it. By the way, I'm not going to be promoting any patches or anything. I'm just going to be explaining why they're used. So a lot of times, dermatologists and even pharmacists in practice will recommend patients to put pimple patches on their pimples and acne so that they're not picking at it. Because though clinically there's really nothing in like studies or anything for them to be used, the main goal is to prevent someone from touching their face and making it worse. I think it's extremely rude to be judging someone based on their physical appearance that they cannot change. And they have to use those patches to hopefully make their acne better. This is just a PSA to anyone who's going to be making a video on any form of social media, is you should probably think about what you're going to say before you post it and think, is this actually going to be offensive to anyone when I post this?
That's a really good thought that many people should have before they post. But I do want to say pimple patches, I can't believe there's not more like scientific evidence on them, because they absolutely fucking work. Like the little hydrocolloid ones. I don't know about the ones with like the needles and shit and like other types of stuff.
I don't think so. But it's that
hydrocolloid patches do
they
work.
help pull some of the moisture out of it, so then it will dry out the pimple, I think, and make it heal faster.
Yeah, like it'll literally be flat like the next day for me. And usually when I pop something, it like makes it, I don't know, like get worse. And then when I put a patch on, it's gone the next day. Like it's flat and dry and perfect. So yeah, no, I think they work for sure.
Well, and also what he said, and like I'm a big skin picker for sure. That is something that like I've used them, because then you go to pick it and you're like, oh, I can't. I still think it's crazy. She's like thinking the only time you're allowed to wear them is when you're sleeping.
Yeah, I know. I just put one on my daughter today because she had like a little scab that she just kept picking and kept picking. And I was like, you want a little sticker like mommy does? And she's like, yeah. And I put it there and she stopped picking at it. So yeah, I can see how that helps a lot of people. But she did not like this video. The craziest part of this story is not just that she's a mean girl who unnecessarily voiced her opinion, but it's that she got pretty upset that Ethan posted this.
So Natalie, the anti-pimple patch creator who I stitched, has entered multiple of—
Okay, so he shows an email, he shows multiple DMs, and his head is in the way. So let me see how much we could read.
This is insane.
All I can see is, I hope you got what you wanted at the extent of my well-being, job, and constant threats. So I'm going to assume death threats entered the chat here. And then on the bottom it says, to try to ruin a young girl's life for the sake of education, quote unquote. How did he try to ruin your life?
Something men with platform.
Oh God.
Platform.
Seriously fucked. Yeah, it says that too. Something about his goal being for her to get death threats, I'm assuming, bullying.
Notes to my employer, attempt to jeopardize my job because I said I thought colorful patches were unprofessional at work.
You were mean in the video. Like, first of all, just like all you need as proof of that is you saying tween. Like, it was like so mean.
Well, and it's like, if you have a problem with what he said, why don't you see a problem with what you said?
Pretty much. And also, like, do I think that anybody deserves death threats?
No, we always say that. No. And I also don't think it's his responsibility that other people took things too far and sent you death threats, if you even received them. But like, did you?
And like, he was talking about it from the standpoint of why pimple patch. Like, he just gave an alternative opinion. What else did you want from him?
He was defending the people that wear pimple patches.
Yeah. And apparently they need defending.
Yeah.
This is from an email. Oh, God.
This
Damn,
is
she really
crazy.
went at it. Yeah, this is pretty
She
bad.
emailed his work.
She gonna email us. Girl.
Oh my God.
I'm the
Not
only one that looks at
opening
them.
it
Don't
with-
stress me out.
Hi, team.
Hi, team. That's my favorite. It's like when we get those spam emails and it'll just say, hi, Dewey, instead of hi, do we know them?
Like, that's not part of the name. Okay. I'm reaching out regarding something represented creators, Dr.
Oh, this was to, because look,
So
it's
his
to one more
management?
person. Yeah, this is to his management and him.
Oh, he posted an edited and misleading video.
Well, hopefully then you don't have an issue of what we showed because it's the whole thing, which actually is pretty funny because he proceeds to show the whole thing now. Because like she was like, it was misleading. He's like, no, actually you look worse in it. So I'll just
I
play it.
can't when people are like, you didn't give the full context. So
Yeah, the
no, this
context.
is so
you mean
weird.
the context that's worse? And at the bottom, oh my God, it says, as a result of his post, I have received, and then it's like a bullet list where it says thousands of hate comments on my appearance, body, and mental health. Oh,
Your
me saying the leather
appearance?
jacket.
Well, also, but like you were commenting on people's appearances.
I didn't say, girl, you're gorgeous. Your leather jacket
yeah.
is not. We can't say that?
No, why? When did we decide that leather jackets inside were okay?
I didn't decide that, and I'm not okay with it. Anyway, death threats. Prove it. I want to see it. Doxing, including sharing my family's personal information and address. Bro, this is the newest death threat. Like, it's like death threats and then doxing almost like go hand in hand now. It used to just be the death threats.
What are people doing with that information? Like, are people calling your parents? Like, I don't.
Also,
maybe,
that's the type
but,
of
like,
thing that, like, I feel personally, like on the internet, especially if you deleted your video in a week, nobody's gonna give a shit. Like,
No.
this response
she's
now is like
blowing it
causing
up.
us to talk about it, and like in general, it
Streisand
snowballs
effect.
it. Yeah, it just gets worse.
She's taken zero accountability. Instead is trying to come after me because I aired her opinion out to a larger audience. And then even another comment saying that she never attacked the girl personally, but when you create
Oh, this is another DM that says, hi, saw your video and appreciate your opinion. Methinks you do not appreciate this
Wait, what?
opinion, actually. I think you did not appreciate it one bit. If your goal was for me to get death threats, bullying, and then she goes on. Oh, so that's another, it's not a different DM. It's like the other portion we couldn't see before.
Oh,
How are you going to start it with, I appreciate your opinion?
yeah, clearly you don't.
The girl wearing them was never attacked personally, and now I am from thousands every day. If we can't make general observations on a beauty trend without harassment that has gone this far, spearheaded by an adult like you, then we are seriously doomed.
Fucked. No, it was fucked.
I think it says doomed. Does
Oh,
it
then
say fucked?
she said it in a different one. Then it was something about being seriously fucked.
I am confused though, because he said you sounded like a mean girl because you did. Like your tone was pretty harsh on it.
Well, and she used the one girl, like, yeah, she didn't name her, but she used her as an example. But then she was shitting on anyone that does that, which is like a very large group of people.
And also, it's like the girl wearing them was never attacked. Maybe she saw that. She lives in your fucking
Yeah.
town. Maybe she saw it and you're like, she's under the legal working age and like her fucking pimple patches made me so uncomfortable. I had to come make a fucking video about it. It's so unprofessional. It's not to be allowed in these. It's like, Jesus, like, I don't know. I just feel like she was being mean and now she's pretending that like, I just had a little opinion.
create a video attacking someone, you are attacking them personally. And so the reason I did the video is because I've been made fun of for like how my voice sounds, for how I dress, how I act.
Same.
And it's been studied that over 50% of people with acne have said that it's affected their mental health. And so by you making that video, it is so damaging to people who are suffering from acne and wearing those pimple patches in public. And the only thing that I called you, Natalie, was mean because what you said was extremely mean. Now, if anywhere in these messages, if you had just said, you know what, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have done that, I would have 100% of deleted the video right away. But after doubling, tripling down what you've said multiple times as you've messaged me multiple times on multiple platforms, I really don't think whatever I say is gonna come across through you. But the one thing I do want to correct personally and I want to address is that if people have been attacking you, to please stop. You know, I really have enjoyed the comments about people who have been so proud to wear their pimple patches in public. So let's just keep it at that and let's stop harassing this poor girl. But Natalie, one thing I am going to correct though is please do not say I'm ever misleading or editing things because
you.
if anything, I think I gave you an okay edit of the video because the full video I personally think is a lot worse. And since I as a retail pharmacist have learned to always keep receipts no matter what, I will play the full video and I will leave it up to everyone else's opinion to see if I changed anything whatsoever.
And
I'll
then
tell
he
you right
does.
now,
He
the
plays the
full
whole thing.
video is never a good idea.
Never a good idea. No, she's going to regret wanting him to, well, not wanting him to, but accusing him of misleading so that he would have a reason to.
There is occasionally circumstances where maybe someone got cut off, so it doesn't give the full context of what they were saying, but it's like her full context is not gonna make her look better.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the pimple patch drama. That's all I got. She's just getting reamed on the regular, I think, because people have gone to her TikTok and then they're just like, oh, you're just like this. Like, that we don't like that.
Which I think that maybe we just don't engage. I think that there are consequences to your actions.
I agree. And also, when I tell you that these people will not stop cutting their fucking grass outside, I'm not joking. So we love the internet.
Yep.
I have such a good one. You're going to love it.
Is it a dog?
No.
Oh.
It's an animal, though.
Okay.
But it's not like cute. It's like funny.
Great.
It's someone swimming with sea lions in Peru.
Well, it sounds cute.
Does, doesn't it?
Oh my god, I don't want to do it. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh. I wouldn't want to do that.
Oh my god.
They just start slapping water in her face repeatedly and like fake biting at her.
Yeah, no, this doesn't look like something I would ever want to do.
There's like 100
I
of
don't
them.
feel like sea lions like aren't notoriously nice.
They're literally surrounding her. She says in the beginning that she's panicking. No, girl, that's not the same as me panicking. I would not have been able to stay there as that was happening. I would have just like swam for my life.
That's funny. I also have a funny animal one.
Perfect.
This is a runaway pet zebra was on the loose for more than a week in Tennessee, and they captured him. Look how
At
chilly
least
looks.
that's better than the ones where they get the cows and they're spinning too fast and you're like, oh
That's
my
so
God, that
sad.
cow's gonna freak the fuck out. He's like slow spinning.
Literally, and he's just kind of looking around, like the comments are so
It's like,
funny.
fuck, they got me.
They're like, he's definitely going to do it again. He's mapping out his next route from the air.
That's so funny.
Like, I feel like in a situation like that, you would expect that they were like really frazzled, and it just looks so like, whatever. It was good while it
Yeah, I
lasted.
don't think this is the first time. I'll just say that. So we normally end the episode right here, but for the people that made it through the entire episode, we've got a little treat for you. So we decided that we wanted to give you like a little preview of what we do over on our Patreon, which is essentially what we do here, and we cover topics mostly. We've done a few other things like reacting to our old content. And what else did we do?
I do have a
few other
Coachella vlog
non-topic
coming.
things.
It's just I've gotten a little too into it, so it's taking me a while.
So the
to
vlogs
edit.
that we do are like separate from the bonus episodes. So if you don't know, we have a Patreon and we have 2 tiers. And if you're on the diabolical tier, which is $10 a month, you get 2 bonus episodes that are usually around an hour. I would say like from 45 minutes to an hour.
Sometimes they go a little longer, like this one we're about to show you a little preview of, because generally so many of you have requested that we cover like older topics that were maybe before we had the podcast, and we're like, sure. But then specifically, so many of you asked if we could cover the Creepshow art drama.
We avoided it for a hot minute.
We did.
but
And I
then
finally
we finally did it.
dove in a little bit, did a little bit of a deep dive, and it's not going to be the 8 hours that it could have been, but it's pretty long.
For sure. So we want to give like a little, I don't know, like 5 minutes, I think, preview of that. So we'll play that now.
Enjoy.
This, I feel like, was the big fucking thing that she was involved in.
Yeah.
Like, everybody thinks about this when they think about her now.
At the time, she had lost the most subscribers of any YouTuber during like a drama.
I remember that. Yeah, I do
It was
vaguely
over
remember that being
200,000
discussed.
subscribers that she lost. People started noticing on LolCow that someone had been posting, because it seemed like it was potentially Creepshow art, and she was posting stuff about herself, both positive and negative stuff. Also, this person was posting a lot about her friends in usually very negative light. But what really just blew everything up was that the admins of LolCow, and similar to Reddit, I know that Reddit admins have access to people's IP addresses. She got outed by the admins of LolCow. As many users in this thread are aware, Shannon's posts on LolCow haven't exactly been subtle. We've decided to compile her post history after she escalated her behavior by sharing her sister's social media in order to deflect from criticism towards herself. Beyond that, she's been anonymously promoting her videos and Patreon/YouTube membership to farmers, which I assume are like
farmers?
the users of LolCow. Cow
Oh, because they're
farmers.
cows.
I don't know.
That's weird. weird.
and making posts about herself to either white knight or insult herself. For many years, we've had a policy to reveal post histories of users who go to great lengths to use Lolcow Farm to propel their own online presence. You can read the full post history here.
That is insane.
I know.
Like, I remember this dropping, and then like you click on that, it's just like all her fucking it's so embarrassing. The posts are so bad. This first one says, when her sister was in the ICU, Shannon posted her social media to Lolcow. She posted insults towards her friends Ready to Glare. That was a big one. Sexy Edwin and D'Angelo. Is that D'Angelo Wallace?
Yeah.
I did not know he was involved in the whole Creepshow thing. Mm-hmm. She called people fat, autistic, ugly, and R-worded.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And a lot of transphobic stuff specifically. After this, she puts out a statement, and
this is insane.
it's pretty long. Already a typo
Don't
right
get
off the bat.
Don't stumble over the bad grammar.
This post just going up because I need to talk about this and let you know what's going on. The earlier today got... Wow, two in the first two sentences.
You know she was crashing out when she typed this.
For sure. I'd been called out for saying certain things about myself and other creators and more on a hate forum. And I was confused because I hadn't done any of that. I would remember doing that. That is such a weird thing to say.
I would remember this. Like, what the fuck? However, after being sent screenshots of what I allegedly said about me, myself, my friends, and most importantly, my relative, I realized what had happened. I bet you did.
What
Tell us,
happened?
Shannon.
Please tell us.
A couple of years back, I made a video about how I had been stalked for over 8 years by a woman I called Amy. That's not her real name because I was protecting her identity, as people do to stalkers. I also discussed how Amy and I kind of reconciled at the end of that and came to an understanding, as one also does with their stalkers.
Literally?
Yes.
What?
Familiar with that. She even liked the video. Did she? She even liked the video and supported me making it. We kept in contact over the past couple years, and I thought I kept a good amount of distance between us, never letting her close enough to hurt me again. Apparently, I am really shitty at that.
Obviously, I was wrong because she has gone back to doing what she's always done. Shocking.
Yeah.
A stalker went back to stalking? You? Strange.
Doesn't
Except for, spoiler alert, Amy doesn't exist. She made fake Facebook accounts to tell people what a terrible person I was, and she just... Period.
That's it. She just, you know what I mean?
I had a sneaking suspicion that she had been going back to doing this earlier this year when I started receiving more and more images of self-harm and abuse in my inbox because that was one of the biggest things she would do to me. I didn't want to believe it though because I am a polarizing creator and some people on the internet just don't have boundaries. Like who, Shannon?
Yeah,
are you
can't
kidding?
think of anybody off the top of my head.
Seeing something like that was just the number one way to hurt me online. So it started happening in excess again. I started to think maybe it was her. Like, as opposed to the other person that would randomly send you a bunch of self-harm. Like, if you had a stalker for 8 years and someone started doing the exact same stuff that the stalker had been doing, you wouldn't be like, I started to suspect. No, it would clearly be them. But I didn't want to think that because we had been so good the last time we had talked.
Jesus Christ.
The last time we emailed, it had been lovely. And with her catching me up on my life. Oh, because she was your stalker.
What the fuck?
She means catching me up on her life, I think. But like, that's Freudian slip.
What is it? A Freudian slip. Yeah.
Catching me up on my life and me doing the same back because you're the same person.
Because she's been posting on certain sites, posing as me, spoofing my IP, doxing my family members, writing things about myself and my friends, sending me death threats from other accounts, making false accounts to spam my comment sections, spamming the comment sections of my friends, saying hateful things about me in order to get them to drop me, and just all around doing what she did years ago. Ooh, I love this. So I am sending out a cease and desist. And if it comes to it, I will be filing a full restraining order.
If it comes to it, you literally said that she's been sending you death threats, coming after family members, pretending to be you. I think it came to that if this was real, but it's not. So I'm going to be keeping the rest of this offline where it belongs. So if you have any questions, I'm sorry, I'm not answering them. But
Period.
I wonder why.
I am learning every day how much time she dedicated to harassing me, and it goes deeper than I ever thought. You cuckoo bananas girl.
It doesn't go deeper than any of us ever thought.
Anyway, yeah, the whole episode is so fucking weird. And it just reminded me of how weird that whole time was. It was a fever dream and I hated it. And yeah, lots of fun. Yeah. We have fun over there.
So that one is currently available if you want to go see the full episode. And that one is available for both tiers. So either if you subscribe to the Clout Goblin, which is $5, or Diabolical, which is $10, it's available and up now.
Yeah, I also know there's an option to like just pay $5 and like watch one bonus episode. I know that's a thing.
If you don't want to subscribe to the Patreon in general, yeah, just a one-time fee.
Well, anyway, guys, you've made it to the end of this episode, so we appreciate you very much as always, but that's all we got for you. So we'll be
Indeed.
leaving now.
Wear your pimple patches and live your dreams.
Words to live by, Queen. But anyway, as always, we hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Bye.
Cheers.